what's up, you guys?
What's up?
It's the Loc'd In podcast.
LOCDIN.
Yo, it's your girl Terri,
and I'm Liz.
Man, it's been a week, but you know what? We back.
We're back. We're excited.
Yes, we got our audio back.
Yes,
finally.
Come on, audio.
Yes.
What happened?
Well, my computer, the computer cord stopped charging the computer, and so it wouldn't pick up on the audio. It died. The computer died, and we've been out of it for a minute.
In the middle of the episode. Yes. I don't know what episode that was.
I don't remember. Maybe it was like episode 13.
Yeah, we had to like edit it out because didn't the laptop just stop recording? Like it just died right in the middle of the episode. So that was the video only recording.
And we've had video only up until recently. So
yes.
Woohoo, we back. We fully back.
Yeah.
So we had to be lit for that. So that's good.
Yes. Round of applause. Snaps across the board.
Yes.
Yeah. Should we dive right in?
Let's dive
right in. Topics.
Let's dive right in.
Cut to the chase.
So we chasing it.
So the first, I'm gonna just take my watch off because I like to have my wrist clear. So the first topic we want to talk about today, which I really liked when we were kind of troubleshooting what we're going to talk about.
Okay.
The biggest lesson. Sorry, let me just read it. It. Make sure I got it right.
You doubting yourself already?
I'm just making sure. I like to get things right. You know, I like to be precise.
Okay.
So, let me just pull it up.
I can't deal with you.
So, the hardest lesson that you've had to learn. And I'm just like, damn, immediately I knew exactly what I wanted to talk about. The exact lesson.
Well, let's let you dive in first.
Yes.
Then.
So, the overall encompassing theme is...
Ooh, encompassing.
Yes. Come on, say T word. The overall encompassing theme for me was trust and trusting the wrong people. So that was the biggest lesson that I've learned, is that obviously I cannot do that.
Yes.
And so I wanted to save this story for another episode, which we probably will. So I'm just going to kind of paraphrase what happened. But there was a time in college where I was working, trusted the wrong person, and found myself in a predicament where I could have gotten locked up. Ooh, like gone to jail, legit, like this is gonna be on your record for the rest of your life. And so it all boiled down to putting my trust, kind of also being dumb, naive.
You weren't being dumb though. That's my only thing. My only thing. You weren't being dumb. You were using the information you had at the time. You thought that was a person that wouldn't do you like that.
But also, like, to be honest, I didn't even know him that well. So it's like, come on, girl, you should not have even trusted him. But for one, to, you know, back myself, like, he never gave me the impression that he would ever try and, like, put me in a situation that could lead to me, you know, being incarcerated. Right. Or, you know, and, like, he was always nice. Like, I didn't even know he was, like, part of that lifestyle in a way, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so innocent, so I'm just thinking like everybody around me is the same, has the same intentions, but clearly he didn't give a fuck. Not that he was intentionally trying to get me in trouble, but he knew that I was going to, obviously, and he knew that
he didn't care enough,
and he didn't care enough to even prepare me for it. So that was one of the biggest life lessons that I've learned, that like this like life is so crazy and fragile and like so important, to the point that one mistake can literally uproot your entire life. Completely flip it upside down. Will Smith say? My life got turned upside down. That can happen.
That's the truth.
At any point. And I remember, y'all, I can't wait to like go into detail with that story, just because like it was so traumatizing for me. And I don't want to drag it, but like,
let me tell mine then. Is that okay? So with that, like you're saying trust, mine was decisions. The hardest lesson I had to learn was the decisions that you make could cost you or could flip your life upside down.
That's so
because
true.
I had to make decisions earlier in my life that on the long scheme of things fucked me over.
Yeah.
Like really, really bad. not to let my voice go crazy like that, but no, like
Getting
really
choked up.
No, but like the hardest lesson is like that's the lesson.
Yeah.
That you need people around you that's gonna guide you and that you can trust and confide in.
Yes.
Not having a person or individuals that are going to say, you know what, let's stop playing. You shouldn't do that. That's not a good idea. You need people like that. You need guardians, because I don't want to say parents, because parents sometimes they can fall short if they might not even have had the guidance that they should be giving to you. So it's like you need people that are outside of your inner circle sometimes that are going to say, hold up, this is crazy,
So, I just thought of right now, Eli's been super into Moana.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, it just put in my head, what's the lesson? What's the takeaway?
From Moana?
From Maui's song, You're Welcome. So I'm saying, like, what's the lesson? What's the takeaway from what you're saying, like as far as like decisions?
Oh, my takeaway?
Like what would you tell yourself, or like
so my takeaway with decisions is weighing like the true hard realistic outcomes. Don't just make the decision based off of the right now. Make a decision based off of, okay, how many steps ahead is this going to actually affect, or are you not going to see the effects until way down the line, and are you going to be okay with seeing those effects happen? I've had to make decisions in my life where it's like, at the time when I made them, I wasn't thinking about how far down the line it was going to really trip me up.
And do you think if you thought about that, you would have made a different decision?
I think that if I had individuals in my life that could have foreseen those things for me, because they had experience that I had. And that's another thing. I didn't have the life experience to know that's what that decision would have interrupted or messed up, chopped up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you would think, oh, I'm just going to redirect and pick back up where I left off. Easy, no issues.
Yes.
And now as a seasoned adult, like that's not the case whatsoever. Like any little thing is going to get in the way.
Yeah.
Or it's going to prolong or delay, or maybe you might not even get back on track. Or it might take longer than you would expect, or it would have just you would
it's
have
like
to
in Soulja Boy's voice. Back on track. On track? No. You never get it back on track.
I know,
you
so
lost
hard.
That's it. That moment in time that you had to stay on track, it's done. And now it's up to you to try to fight to get back to where you would have been had you not even had to make that decision. But what's the next one?
Well, for me, I was gonna say like the takeaway or lesson from
my bad.
It's okay.
What's the lesson for you?
So for me, like basically trusting, being careful with who you trust. I think it also ties into like a gut feeling. And a lot of times when things would happen, I would get this like kind of funny feeling in my stomach, and I'm just like, I'm just like, whatever. It's just anxiety, or it's just nerves or something. Like I'm just like, I'm gonna not really pay attention to it. So that's what I feel like messes me up when I don't listen to that gut feeling, when I don't listen to that inner voice. And as I've gotten older, I've learned to trust myself, and that has been a lesson for me, because I can pinpoint those times where I'm like, this particular incident where I was like, something's kind of giving me that feeling like I shouldn't do this. Like, is this okay? Like, red flag. But for whatever reason, I was also kind of wanting to see like what would happen, or like, is this something that could possibly, is it going to be that bad?
Right.
Like, what's the outcome even really going to be? Like, I can't really get into that much trouble. Like, you know, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
You know, but looking back now, I'm like, girl, you knew you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like I felt it. I felt the feeling of like I shouldn't do it, and I did it anyway. So for me, that's like one of the first times I remember thinking, damn, should have trusted my gut, should have, you know.
Yeah.
But also I would say to myself during that time, like, you don't know this boy, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And also, like, he's also very young. Like, we were early, or not early teens, but late teens, like early 20s. So it was like, you know,
that's true.
You know, he was doing his thing. He wasn't really concerned about me or what happened to my life. So also understanding, like, people don't owe you anything. So you have to be the one that is discerning and on your toes.
I get what you're saying. You know. I just feel like everything that you're saying is hindsight. Because it's like, in that moment, you had no experience to know how to deal with that. So even if you had gotten a feeling, the feeling wouldn't have been clear regardless, because no experience. You just would have been like, this seems kind of funny, but I guess it's okay. I go to school with him. He's never done me any wrong. Right. What else?
But like, if I had waited, that's why I'm saying, like, the trust thing. Like, if I had waited until I actually trusted him, you know, or like, I don't think he would have asked me to do something like that had I actually gotten to know him before I made such a big decision to do something.
So you saying basically you should have just said no.
Yeah, I should.
And you would have been okay. That's what I'm saying. Like, not knowing that you needed to say no. I'm saying that from the lack of experience of having to say no to that type of thing. You get what I mean? Like, you've never had to stand on telling somebody, "Oh no, I'm not doing that for you," because because your immediate information about him with the experience that you had with him told you this was an okay person. You get what I mean?
The experience that I had with him told.
Like, you went to school with him. Didn't. You didn't? I thought you knew him from school, from work.
Yeah, just from work.
That's what I'm thinking. School. Because you were in school around that time. Okay, that's my bad.
Yeah, so this was just a complete stranger that I would see at work, and we would hang out with, and, like, you know, we would get along. But he was just different kind of dude, and he was you know, he was running them streets trying to
make some money,
get to where he needed to go. So he wasn't really concerned about
why do I think he went to school with him?
Because of connection between you know, the time frame and stuff. But like, I just think it's a combination of things. But I will say, like that gut feeling that I felt, and I knew that it was wrong. I knew it was, you know, bad, and, you know, whatever was it something good I was doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a big deal. So for me, I was just like, trust your gut. Don't trust people that you don't know like that and haven't really shown you that you can trust them, you know, as well. Because that was my lesson. That was my takeaway. So anybody out there who, you know, not sure who to trust,
don't do it.
So ask yourself, have they broken your trust before? You know what I'm saying? Like, start off small too. Like, if they not trustworthy with little things, then they're not gonna be trustworthy with big things. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you mean.
So
pace yourself. No, for real, you do have to pace how you get to know somebody, because when you jump all in, that's it. You all in, and you don't need to be all in sometimes. I'm learning that. I'm still learning that as an adult. You don't have to jump all in, put all your eggs in one basket, or, like, you know, just, it could be hot potato, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. But I think that's good. Want to move on to the next one?
Yes. You want to start that one off?
And the next one, not being set up for success is our next topic of discussion, which I feel like has been a theme as of late with me being in my 30s. Ironically enough, it's like it's been leading up into this point, like, my life I've been seeing, it's like, dang, I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to do that. I wasn't told how to do that. I wasn't prepared for that. I just been left out to dry. Like literally left out to dry. And at first when I started to realize that, I was, again, like you say, my first initial reaction is anger. Because I get, you guys, I get really mad. Like I have anger issues that people don't, I'm sorry, that people don't understand, because it's like, why I always think, why me? Why do I have to have the privilege of going through this fuckery? That's what I think sometimes. That's an immediate thought. And immediately I always think, whenever I come across an obstacle, it's like, man, I wish I had been prepared for this. I wish somebody had slowed down and taken a chance to talk to me and teach me, these are things that you're gonna come across, versus, yeah, girl, go run out there, since that's what you think you want to go do.
Yeah, you got it. You figure it out. Yep. You're gonna get knocked down a couple times. Hopefully you get back up.
Hopefully you get knocked down. I think that's what that's how I was sent out. Yeah. I think so.
I think for you, in your case, yeah. Oh yeah. It was to be like, and to see. And
which I think,
very unfortunate.
Which I think in the retrospect is like, okay, so that now if I'm not prepared for things, how am I going to be prepared for you when you need me? Because everything is a life cycle. Everything is a cycle.
That's so true.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so now you sent me out unprepared, and then when it's time for me to be prepared for you, I might not be prepared for you. No disrespect. No,
maybe that's a lesson that will be learned later on in life when that time comes, and whether or not whatever space you'll be in during that time, we'll see.
I'm going to have a bit more patience, and I'm gonna show some mercy. That's what I'm gonna do, because I'm like, I would have never tried to send somebody out not knowing anything. I would have been trying to be a guardian.
Exactly. And I think that is the true lesson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you really think about it, because going back to the generation before, thinking of paternally, you know what I'm saying? You following me here? Okay,
yeah,
like what happened with that, and how that lesson probably was never learned.
Yeah.
You know, and so it was passed down, and so now you have this situation that we're in, where we have to figure out, you know, if that time comes, how are we going to go about, you know, are we going to be vengeful? Are we going to be, you know, like you said, trying to be more merciful and more understanding, and like, hey, I'm not going to
take this out on you.
Yeah, or like add fuel to the fire in a sense, or like, I'm gonna get you back now, or like, you know, like, gotta get my lick back, type of thing. Is like, this is life. Like we people, we family, you know, like it's so many different layers to it, and lessons also to take from it. So.
What about you?
So
about the not being set up for success.
Yes. So I feel like more and more I've learned that I haven't been, just getting older, and then also being in a relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's almost like a mirror. And Lewis, you know,
what?
Bless his heart, you know what I'm saying? What? Like, he'll have to, like,
not bless his heart.
He kind of is seeing kind of the results of a human who kind of was not prepared, almost over sheltered, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Like, he'll, like, just for example, like, not to like make him look bad or like anything like that.
No, I'm not taking it like that. Yeah.
And just for listeners too and stuff like that, like, you know, sometimes I do not think about things in a complete way, or just like he'll often say like, you don't question anything, or you don't ask like enough questions. And I think if I'm trying to pick my therapist brain, you know what I'm saying, because I'm like a self therapist to myself, so I try and think of like, okay, why do I do things like this, why do I behave this way, like self-diagnose in a way. And I'm like, growing up, you weren't really allowed to question a lot of things.
That's true.
You were
just
told to do something, and like kind of like that was the end all be all. That was final.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a gullibleness. I feel like I'm speaking for myself.
No, I know that. I'm following you. I'm like, why she use gullible?
Because I feel like I just sometimes I don't question things, and I'm easy to accept information without questioning it. So I feel like that's the definition of gullible, you know?
Okay.
You know?
Okay. No, it's just the word just sounds funny to me. I get what you're saying, because that's another thing that I really didn't like growing up, is that we weren't able to question things, or if we had any questions. Now I'm seeing that it was because they didn't have any answers.
Yes.
They didn't know what to tell us.
They didn't know what they were doing.
I feel like I feel like most of the time they took an easier way of approach of how to raise us. It's like, oh, just keep them doing nothing, so that I don't have to do nothing with them either.
Yeah. And you know what I take from it too is, Eli's favorite word, why? A lot of the times too, like I don't want to kill that in him. You know what I mean? Like I don't want him to stop asking why.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it's annoying. Like sometimes it don't even make sense when he's asking why, but it's like, there's a reason why he's asking why, so that he can understand. And so I feel like if you apply that to someone older, it's like, we just want to understand. Yeah. And that was the reasons why we would ask certain questions or question certain things, because we didn't understand, and it felt like it was just a control thing, or it felt like it had nothing to do with our safety or whatever they was claim it would be really about. And it felt like it was just them wanting to say no. Yeah. Because an explanation was either not given or it was just like something broad that like it was just like, really,
or to gaslight you, make you feel like us asking a question, I can't believe you would even question me,
or I can't believe you would even want to go and do something like that.
And it's like what? And it's also like, what happened in your life? Were you never able to do anything?
Probably not.
And if you weren't ever able to do anything, why would you pass that on to me? Huh?
Exactly. But it's like, it's a cycle, and that's just evidence of like not learning, Yeah. No growth.
A new way.
No wisdom.
Can I say this? I've always said that it seems like the generation before us decided to just do what they saw, whereas our generation decided to do something different. Because from what we saw from them, it was like, that doesn't make any sense. And you let that happen to you too? I don't want that to happen to me.
You realize, wait a second, I'm a little messed up. Like something along those lines, like somewhere in the mix, something got messed up, got tweaked, like some wire got switched, and I I got a little malfunction in me. Ooh, so now we got to figure out what we can do so that the next product is much more new and improved and better and functioning at a much higher level. So that's what I'm hoping to do for Eli, at least.
Definitely. Like, ooh, you know what I started doing with his why question? I started asking him, well, what does he think?
Exactly.
Because I'm like, you're asking me why, but asking why is okay. Now we have to see if you are figuring out the why yourself, because it's fine.
Exactly. And sometimes you can't always take what people say to you. You have to form your own opinion or your own thoughts. So that is something that I like to do, and like to ask him, like, all right, what do you think?
Yeah, what did you see?
What did you see?
I remember watching Moana with him. That's a good movie though. And he was like, why they do that, Auntie? And I was like, well, what did you see? And he told me. He said, well, and he explained it, and I was like, exactly. So I know I know he knows.
Oh yeah, he knows.
He just likes to ask why sometimes. That's his favorite question.
He wants you to say it,
Yep.
and then he could be like, "Okay, that's what I thought." Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, because if you ask him, then he'll be like, smart. He'll say exactly what the answer is.
He is so smart. He'll be quick to say it too. Like, girl, I already knew, but let me tell it this. Yeah, you don't know
exactly.
Quick.
Like, oh, she dumb. Like, hold on, okay. Like, oh, you don't know. You're asking me back because you don't know. Just say that. If you don't know, just say that.
That's dumb. But Eli is always paying attention.
That's funny.
You know what? We might have one extra one we could do.
Do we? Okay.
Okay, so I wanted to do this one because it kind of had us reminiscing a little bit. So I want to try the favorite part of your day when you were a kid. Because that one gave me like good memories, like stress-free memories. Like you don't have to worry about the next coming book report or homework assignment or whatever. Like we were just talking about it.
Yeah.
I was saying, like, you know, when you get off school on Friday and you don't have any homework and you have the whole weekend to just do nothing. You could just play outside. You could just play with your friends. You can talk on the phone, TV. Do whatever. That was my favorite thing as a kid.
That's funny.
Did you want to share what you said?
Well, yeah, I think mine was like, you know, like probably most kids, like the last day of school, like for summer break, because obviously we're off for 3 months. You know what I mean? Like we about to have a good time for the summer, even though we didn't, even though like we wouldn't be able to go out and do much, but like the three of us, me, you, and Carlton, like we would find our fun in the house, and we would make a way to enjoy ourselves and find new games to play and make up and you know day. I feel like at least looking back, even though I know that I didn't get to do much, I can at least look back in a somewhat positive way and be like, yeah, I couldn't do much, but at least what I could do was enjoyable for me at the time. And you know, I'm still I'm still a little sad, but like you know,
what's the point of being sad about it?
Yeah. Like, it wasn't... I could still find happy times. Like, you know, it's... I don't know. No. Like, I can still find happy moments at the end of the day. Because some kids might not even be able to find one happy moment. So I'm like, at least we could...
have a good time. We had decent times. What I think about is like, man, I just wish that I had been pushed to do things that I really, really loved. Like I love to dance. Like if you know me, you know I love I like to dance. I like to dance, and I've always makeup dances. I like to sing, and I like to be. I feel like I was like a mixture of a tomboy, girly girl mixture because I would play football with Carlton and his friends outside. Oh my gosh, they try to kill you. Don't do that. And soccer like at school and like just I loved all of it. Like just being active and like you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's the only thing I like when I think about childhood. I'm like, man, I wish we were able to do more stuff like that.
And you can.
Well, I want to do it now. I'm trying to find me a dance class.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, girl, that's the key too. Yeah, like a lot of things, you know, we wanted to do as kids that we couldn't do. Yeah, don't let that stop you.
That's true. That's true.
Like it's never too late. Yeah, and you can do it. You can do it.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Wait, you want to do one more? Okay, we have a few more.
Do we? Are we gonna do okay?
We almost to 30 minutes. All right, let's do one more. Do you want to pick the next one then?
Let me see.
Because I sometimes reminisce about being a kid, like how they really didn't have any worries. Like when we were kids, we really didn't have worries. My biggest worry was like doing like my spelling bee and for like spelling. That used to be a subject. We had to learn our spelling words and stuff and taking spelling tests and pop quizzes and stuff like that. That was like I'm stressed.
That was your biggest stress.
I'm stressed.
Like,
yeah, that was it. And that was nothing.
I had a topic that's kind of a piggyback on the previous topic that we had, which was like, how do you go about not being set up for success or feeling like, you know, you weren't given the right tools for success you know, as you grow up. And I was thinking like, well, that's one token or one side of it. What about when you're older? Like, at what point do you take control and, you know what I mean, like take ownership and be like, all right, these are the things that I wasn't taught. I'm going to either have to teach myself or learn myself or somehow get to the point, because you can't spend the rest of your life saying like, I wasn't taught this, I wasn't taught that. At some point you have to
take control of your life.
And I feel like I have to actively like remind myself to question things, ask questions, don't just accept information, like just really think like, okay, what can I possibly find out more about this particular thing? Or, you know, so that's something that I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to actively like change and improve that about myself, because I can see that flaw in me, and that's something that I want to.
It's not even a flaw, though. To do better. I just think it's just a.
Yeah, something I can work on. I know for a fact, like I can.
Ooh, well, can I say?
Yeah.
I will say that now has been the years that I've been realizing there's things that I lack. I've been trying to figure out how to like gain that information.
Yes.
So I think that's why I would talk to you. I would talk to Lou. I talked to Carlton and Hallie about certain things, because I'm like, man, I'm realizing that I don't know those things, and it's hurting me not to know, and I don't want to just be walking around not knowing.
And I feel like there's so many people who feel that way. I was trying to find that that post that the Shade Room even put up, like what's something that you wish you learned in life, or like something that you feel like you weren't taught. And so,
I have one while you look. So for me, I think it's perseverance. I wish that I had been taught perseverance in a more concrete way, especially coming towards aiming towards like tasks and just the diligence that you need to get to where you're trying to go, your schoolwork, your work, just your inner power. I wish that was something that was just highly emphasized. I feel like for me as an individual, that was not something that was put into me. I wasn't raised with intention. I think I was just monitored. It was just controlled monitoring, monitoring. It wasn't. No one was raising
like
me
actively. Like,
like
trying to make sure you're okay, or like you're
like. And no disrespect. I want to say that with no disrespect to how I was raised to certain individuals. I mean, on the broader scheme of things.
Yeah.
Yes, I was raised to know certain things, but I feel like to be a well-rounded individual, an adult, I was not raised with certain aspects. Like I said, perseverance. A lot of things were started and stopped. A lot of things we're never seen to completion, and I feel like that hurt me like really bad. And I was not pushed to be like a standalone individual. I feel like it was very timid. A lot of the teachings that I was given was very timid and soft and like
we said before, I feel like it was because they didn't know really what they were doing,
right?
And maybe they thought that was the best way.
Yeah,
I don't know. You know, I can only speculate because I'm not them, but.
That's true.
So I found the post, and it says, "What's one thing y'all wish y'all was taught more growing up? I wish I was taught more to forgive people." So that was the post. Yeah.
Well, that's one that I'm working on, y'all. I'm working on forgiveness right now.
And what forgiveness really means.
That's true.
Because some people will say, okay, when you forgive someone, that means you forget, and it's like you're wiping the
For
slate
me, that's
clean.
a no.
Yeah, and some people think, well, forgive but not forget. Like, I'll forgive you, but I'm not going to make that same mistake again. You know, but it's like if that is that really forgiveness?
Yeah,
because you still remember what they did. And you're still kind of holding it against them in a way.
For me, forgiveness, I feel like you can't forget. If it never happened, there's nothing to remember.
And forgetting, would be losing the lesson also that you learned. Like, for me, I feel like that's kind of what it means.
Right.
Like, if you're forgetting, like forgiving someone to the extent that they could do that to you again, Like for me, that's like, well, then you didn't really learn your lesson. Like what did you take away from that? You know? So yeah, that's my
Was there
idea
one
of
other
that.
one that they said?
Another one was comparison is not motivation. And I really,
Right.
really felt that
That
one,
one's
you
one
know?
that's what helped me see social media in a different way. I
Mm-hmm.
started to see people on social media as people that have been meeting their own goals versus being jealous or envious over what somebody else has. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? Like it's like, wow, look at the possibilities. If I just stay true to self or I stay true to my goals, I can do the same thing. Maybe not exactly like that, but I can do something that's for me.
Yeah, I agree. And I think a lot of times parents will make the comparison to other kids or do whatever, and they think that that's supposed to like
Motivate
uplift you,
you.
yeah, or like make you feel like, all right, well, if they're doing it, I can do it. But instead of doing that, I'm just like, why not as a parent ask yourself, like, well, I know my child is smart. I know that they're like artistic, or I know whatever this is. What can I do to help get them to this point that this other kid is at, or you know what I'm saying? Like to openly compare your children to another child that is being brought up a completely different way. Like you don't know what the parents are doing in that household.
Yeah.
Like maybe they're waking their child up 5 a.m, doing all these things. Like you're not doing that,
right?
Maybe you know what I'm
maybe
saying?
maybe it's you. But that, but you know what?
Y'all not ready for that conversation.
They're not ready for that conversation. That's, you know what? That's a big thing, because it's like children are a reflection of their parents to a certain extent, especially like. Let me not. It's gonna open up. The conversation is gonna go on and on and on. But they have to realize some of it is you.
Yeah.
Some of it is you, and you got to take that
on the
chin, on the forehead, whatever you got to do. You got to take that.
Yeah, you got to.
Shoot. But yeah, we can close it here. That was good. I really like that post.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like that.
I'm glad I found it, because I feel like a lot of people have that issue where it's like, all right, I'm an adult and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Like I was not set up. I was taught all the wrong things that I don't even need or use right now.
Oh my gosh, algebra.
Okay,
please. I'm just playing.
Right? Why
some people might
like what?
Some people might use it.
For?
Some people might actually use algebra. So let me not be disrespectful.
Okay. Yeah, you're a math teacher.
You know what? Algebra did help with payroll in home care. It did.
Well, yeah, the few times that particularly helped.
Yeah.
But yeah, when's the last time you needed to know that mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell? Okay? When's the last time you needed to know that information?
Nah, I can't do it with you. I can't. But yeah.
Wrap it up.
Ooh. So you know what? We will see you guys another time. Soon it's gonna be the end of the
season.
Yeah, it's gonna be season finale soon. So we'll see you guys. We'll let you guys know when that is. We've been loving to have these videos with y'all, talking with y'all. It's been good. Yeah. It's very therapeutic in my opinion.
Exactly.
It always has been.
I agree. So, we'll be back again soon, and we'll see y'all next time.
Yes. LOCDIN. Locked in.